Hello, this is Dr. Darrell Floyd, Superintendent of Schools in Blue Ridge ISD. And we wanted to do this brief recording to provide a little more information about the upcoming school bond election, how we got to where we are now, and what is entailed with all of the proposed bond projects. And then a little more information about the housing developments that are either started and or planned in our school district. And then we'll finish up with a little information about school funding and how different things work for the M&O budget as opposed to the INS budget. So let me share my screen here and we will go through some slides so you'll have a picture of where we are headed. So how do we get to where we are now? We reviewed the district-wide historic and future enrollment projections. We assessed the campus needs. We gathered feedback from a bond committee that was comprised of parents and community members and staff members and administrators. And they worked for several months in the fall of 2024 to finally narrow it down to a recommendation that they made to the school board on January 21st, 2025. And then the board approved their recommendation to go out for a bond of $59.4 million. And election day will be on May the 3rd. And early voting will be April 22nd through the 29th. So why call a bond election now? That's because the growth is coming our way, just like it has to Melissa and Princeton and Farmersville and other areas, and it's coming our way next. We'll be talking about some of the housing developments that are either started, completed, and or planned. And then we'll talk about some of the student programs that will be affected with this bond election. So let's talk about the housing developments first. We've got 100 lots that are currently available right now, and there are 5,500 future homes planned in the future. So here's the first one. Heritage Grove is behind the Dollar General store. Right here is by 78 is the Dollar General, and this housing addition has already started, 52 total lots. And the prices for those houses range in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. Next one is Pioneer Estates, and this is a Stone Hollow project as well. It's this green rectangular area right here, just south of the really large housing development in here that we'll get to in just a minute. But this one is 26 total homes on 1 acre lots, about 1,900 to 3,800 square feet homes, and it will be adjacent to this large one. Terra Escalante is a little rectangular addition to the east of our, on the eastern edge of our school district. 30 total homes. They are 1 acre lots. 6 or more have already begun. And these are 2,500 homes to 2,500 square feet to 3,400 square feet. And the price range for those is in the mid 500s. West Ridge Estates. This is on Guavin Street. As you're headed to downtown on 545. It's pretty much already done. 10 total lots, 1,500 to 2,000 square feet homes on price range of about 300. Creekside Ranch. This is the large one on 1377 that is well underway. So if you drive from Blue Ridge to Princeton, you'll look over to the left where the flagpole is and the big Creekside Ranch sign, and see that a number of homes are already completed. They have planned 1,200 homes in that addition, 200 for phase 1, and then about 150 to 200 each year from that point forward, ranging from now until 2030. So that one is well underway and blowing and going. Pioneer Park, also owned by the same folks. This is the large one that I was pointing out earlier. If you go on down 545 toward Melissa, about a mile or two, you'll see a signage, a white sign there that depicts where this will be, and that is 3,000 future homes in this large addition. and it has not begun yet, but it is planned to start in around 2027. The developers anticipate building 100 homes the first year and then 200 a year thereafter. So this will be a large housing addition, and when they get it started, they have agreed to carve out about 12 acres for us for an additional elementary school for when we need it. The Prairie at Blue Ridge, this is roughly 1,000 future homes, and this is across the road west from that Creekside Ranch addition that is already well underway. So they purchased this land and across the road of 1377, and roughly 1,000 future homes there. It has not started yet, but they plan to get started in the next 3 to 5 years. Blue Ridge North, this one is behind the school and kind of behind the softball field and down from the softball field. So these are actually mislabeled here. This is actually the elementary school right here, and the high school is right there where it says mid. And then this one is actually the middle school. So those are mislabeled, but it's this one is the land right behind the school, and roughly 271 homes that are planned for 75 to 80 per year when it gets started. Price range going to be from 375 to 600. Blue Ridge Crossing is a development that borders Business 78, and it is over there by the Brassa Little League fields, and it's already well underway. 214 lots total there, and it has already begun. So what about our enrollment? So our elementary school is 4 years old now. It had a capacity of 515 total. We have already slightly exceeded that at 525. In 2 years, it'll be 653. And then by 31-32 school year, it would be well over that limit of 859 if we don't do something. The middle school will be over capacity in that same 31-32 time period if nothing were to change. And then the high school still got some room to grow where they are. So what all is included in the bond package? New intermediate campus to alleviate that overcrowding at the elementary school. That would be grades 3, 4, 5, and would be constructed at the intersection of 545 and 1377. HVAC replacements for 36 units to replace aging units all across our school district. High school would get a roof replacement to replacing the 22-year-old roof that leaks often, and additional 100 parking spaces. If you've come to events where we have multiple events on the same night, you know that parking is at a premium. So we included 100 additional parking spots that would go kind of between the CTE building on the backside of the high school and over there by the football practice field. So that would help with parking when we have numerous events. Gym renovations at the high school, bleachers and floors. The floors have been sanded down to the extent that they can, and the bleachers are 20 plus years old and have cracks and breaks in them. So we included that. Transportation to accommodate the growth that's coming our way would get 6 new buses, 4 route buses and 2 activity buses. And we would create covered parking for our buses to protect that investment from hail and sun, and same for the paving of the bus barn area out there to protect our buses in and out. Ag department would be getting several additions. They would get an additional ag instructional space at the high school that would include classrooms and a welding shop, and then also an additional animal barn to be placed out at the ag barn area. So that would be animal barn number 3. Fine arts would get additional sound system and lighting upgrades for the high school and middle school. And then the last piece is included some gym locker replacements at the middle school that did not get included in the last bond package. So next up will be Amanda Ray, our CFO with the school district, and she's going to walk us through a little bit about the school funding process.
Hi, I'm Amanda Ray. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Blue Ridge ISD, here to talk to you about the tax funding side of the bond. First, we're going to start off with the two different buckets of money that we have for school districts. The first bucket of money is M&O, or maintenance and operations, and the other bucket of money is INS, or interest and sinking, which takes care of our debt service. So the difference between the two different buckets of money, maintenance and operations can be used for the day-to-day operations of the district, salaries, utilities, supplies, those types of things. We cannot use any bond money to pay for any maintenance and operations at all. The bond money can only be used for such things as new constructions, renovations, heating, roof replacement, those types of things that are already approved by the taxpayers. This bond that we're proposing is a no tax rate impact. So that means that if the voters do approve the bond, there will be no tax rate impact. We are currently at the 50 cents, and so that tax rate on the INS, the interest and sinking side, will not increase. So if there's no tax rate impact, then why does the ballot read that there is a property tax increase? So back in 2019, during the legislative session, there was a bill that was passed that wanted the ballot language to be clear that voted bonds would have to read at the end that there is a property tax rate increase. So even though the tax rate is not being changed, the ballot must say that this is a property tax increase. Early voting begins on April 22nd and runs through April 29th, and election day is Saturday, May 3rd. We will have the Blue Ridge Administration building open for early voting and election day. In Collin County, we will also have other voting sites that you're able to attend. If you go to blueridgeisdbond.com, you can see those voting times and locations. A few questions that we've already been asked that we want to address is, how can the school district pay for a bond without increasing my taxes? So the district is able to call a bond election without increasing school taxes because of growth within the community. Because of the new home developments that Dr. Floyd was talking about earlier, those new taxes collected on those new developments is how we will be able to cover the cost of these bonds. So the existing taxpayers will not bear the burden of repaying these additional bonds. Another question that we've been asked is, if we are growing so fast, does this bond address all of our needs? And how did the facility planning committee go about this? So when they were back in the fall doing their committee groups, and they looked at the immediate priorities and how they could help us with the capacity issue at the elementary level. So elementary currently houses 7 grade levels, where we have 3 at middle school and 4 at high school. So by building this intermediate campus, it will help us divide some of our grade levels, and then that way we can plan for future growth as well. Another question that we've been asked about is, if we're growing and we have capacity issues, why are we still accepting transfers? So we currently monitor each grade level. And if we are getting to where there is a capacity issue at that grade level, then we no longer allow transfers for each grade. So next to this is a chart of how many students per grade level we currently have enrolled as transfer students. So as you can see at the elementary, even if we were to not allow transfers in certain grade levels, we still wouldn't gain any capacity by classroom or by staff members because our classrooms typically hold 22 students in each one. If you have any further questions, we have our blueridgeisdbond.com website, and on there's an FAQ page, and we invite you to be able to submit all your questions on there. Thank you.